So how do we get people who are perhaps misinterpreting all holy books and with wrong actions, how do we get them to change?
The transformation begins person by person. And what we understand about the word jihad is that it's within ourself. And the Prophet himself, peace and blessings be upon him, said, when the disciples, the companions came back from a battle, he said, the greatest battle is within yourself. And that is called the inner jihad. So what I suggest, what I promote, what I work on as a way of all-encompassing life is to transform myself and others along the way. We share this knowledge that anything that covers up the truth within ourselves has to be removed, dispelled by light, dispelled by light. One of the things I do is I go and teach in prison. So every week I go. Today is my day, but I came here and I will go tomorrow.
And I'm very grateful that you came.
And it's to understand how each person got into whatever prison they're in that separated them from that liberation which truth brings to us. Now that comes from within ourselves. There's some complex system of light encountering darkness and darkness encountering light, and every living being is engaged in that kind of jihad. And knowledge is a great tool. Knowledge of what God actually has revealed to us is the greatest tool. Reading the Holy Scriptures with illumined understanding, with humble but sincere understanding, is a wonderful way of getting the strength and getting the empowerment to dispel the illusions that are standing between us and that state of realization that brings us into harmony with our Lord and makes us a vehicle for that transmission to each and every person. So we go back to your question, and how do we change someone who's like insistent upon going in the other direction?
On themselves.
Insistent, yes. So now we ask for guidance about who we can help. Who can we help? Now, for instance, I have an open house in Philadelphia, and Sheikh Harun has a beautiful masjid and center in South Carolina. The doors are open. So some of the people that come in are always young people. Some of them have come right out of prison. They have been deviated from this clarity. What I say to the ladies in prison is that if they keep saying, lead us on the straight path, lead us on the straight path, that's what we say in our prayers. And then they get out. There will be no recidivism. They won't come back. They will not come back because we're going on the straight path. Where? To the one most merciful. How? By his mercy and grace. And so we work with the people in our own neighborhoods or who we meet. I work in the world all the time. I create kind of holy enclaves in the middle of shows and metaphysical events, and the door of my booth is always open. People come in, and I listen to them and understand what are they going through, what is their struggle, and then try to apply these principles which God has revealed to all of us to each situation. Now, with an interview like this, going around the world, we have even greater possibility for opening the dialogue, for listening to people, for sharing with people. If we could speak to some of the young people in Afghanistan or elsewhere in Gaza, and people who have been, have not had the option to even develop in a holistic way in their lifetime, what could we do to help them, to those youth? So if they had proper input, if they received the light that we have, they would not be inclined to to commit suicide, which is utterly forbidden by God. It is absolutely despised by God, but they're being misguided by someone who probably undoubtedly is misguided. So the light of guidance.
We're doing it for other reasons.
Yes, but that's misguided. Anything but surrendering to the one most merciful is not real guidance. Now, if the more people that awaken to the possibilities of following the one most merciful and joining together in networks of communication to understand if one person is in one country, another was in another country, and who are the people around them that they can help. So I work in my own neighborhood, and then I travel around the world with, beseeching God that every minute of my life is used in the best possible way. And today, although there were terrible difficulties with traffic and problems on the road, the message was, you must get there. You must get there for my sake. I said, for your sake alone, I will go through anything to get there, to get to a place, each new place, where we can share the understandings that will ultimately set everyone free and get us on the straight path, so that whatever God has in mind, God who created us with a purpose, we will all be able to help each other to find the reason that each one was created, to find out what is standing in the way of their progress in that direction. And then to have a mobilization of this beautiful truth that's activated in one heart and then another and then another.
Well, Sheikha Maryam, it's been a privilege interviewing you and having you speak today. We could go on, and I'm sure that we will in the future with other conversations. Is there any closing message you'd like to share with us, and perhaps a prayer to end the event?
The message is love, which transcends all division. Love from the Creator and love for the Creator. Love for all that He created in His love and mercy and grace. And so I send my prayer to each person from this book expo out into the great universe, where each person, each soul, each creation is now yearning or intending or wondering how to proceed on the journey that leads to the infinite source, to the imperishable infinite source. And I know that we cannot really do anything ourselves, but that God does this through us and for us. By His grace, will we succeed? And will we succeed in doing what He intends for us to do, which is to love, to serve, and to worship Him in the deepest possible way and the most effective way. So I pray for everyone listening, for you who have so kindly responded to the invitation that we both received.
I want to thank your publisher too. It was
we
wonderful.
Thank Tugra for even publishing my book and all the other books that they publish with such integrity and such devotion, and to the Book Expo that made me come to know them. And this is how it works. It works person to person, and as God has intended, as God has planned for us. He said, I will send you here and you will find the provision that I had for you in this spot. Then I will take you to another place and show you someone in need of food. Then I will take you to another place and I will bring you closer to me by the purity that is growing within you. It will bring you closer to me, and I will give you guidance simply because you asked for it and I inspired you to do that. So this is what the journey is that we're describing, and it's not something that we made up, and it's not something that we could ever have imagined. It's what the Creator of all intends for His beloved creation, so that we make the right decisions, and then we achieve, our good actions are heavier on the scale, and those good actions are welcoming to all other living beings to do the same. So that is why we're so very, very happy to have come to this present moment in the journey. And I want to end with a prayer. I'm going to translate it to begin with. And I say, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, by the time, wal asr, innal insana lafi khusr, surely mankind is in loss, illa ladhina, except for those, amanu wa amilu salihati, those who have iman, faith, profound faith, wa amilu salihati, and do righteous deeds, watawassaw bil haqi, watawassaw bis sabr, and they advise each other to the great truth, and they advise each other in the direction of patience. Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessing be upon everyone. Ameen.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much.
It's our introduction. So we begin.
Wow. I got chills.